Evening people, welcome back to the channel. If you've had the stream on from the beginning, you'll have seen what we got coming up anyway, because I forgot to put my own bloody intro screen on. Anyway, so on screen you can see now round 2 of P1RCs Tour of America. So last week we had the super formulas around Daytona, tricky circuit, and then tonight we are back in the GT3 Corvette, everybody in the same car, and we are at Laguna Seca. Tricky circuit at the best of times. Sand everywhere, as I just watched one driver go off track on the other screen I'm watching. Yeah, very tricky circuit. There's sand everywhere. If you run it wide on any of these corners, you'll get sent into the sand and a bit tricky to get out of. So that's what we've got coming up tonight. We've got 10-minute qualifying followed by a 15-minute sprint race and then a 30-minute enduro here at Laguna. Slightly different setup for tyres and fuel and stuff between race 1 and race 2. But that's what we've got. GT3 Corvette. They are a bit lively as well. The rear-wheel drive cars do like to spin the rears up. We'll see how everyone gets on tonight. We've got the tricky corkscrew to get through as well. That's always a bit of a pain for some of these drivers. It's a tricky corner to get through without running yourself wide or getting the car backwards. So, merch still available, people. T-shirt, stickers, hit me up, darksmoker@googlemail.com. That's enough of that. Right, let me put some sound on so I don't forget. I've got sweaty hands tonight, people. Don't know what's going on. Are we waiting for anyone else? We're waiting for Pilgrim, are we? Yes, I think he's just having a quick reset of his system. I'm not sure if he's a bit glitchy or just struggling to get in the lobby. So it looks like we're going to get 11 drivers in the lobby once Pilgrim actually gets in. And then we'll crack on with qualifying. Again, little 10-minute qualifier followed by a 15-minute sprint race here at Laguna. And again, you can see the sand on the sides of the circuit. It's not very good. Couple of places where you can run off, like there on the left-hand side of your screen. A little bit of escape room, but there's always that tiny bit of sand to deal with. Turn 2 is always tricky. Turn 4, turn 5 is always tricky. The corkscrew, like I say, can be tricky. The last couple of corners can be tricky. Yes, and that's a point actually. Well reminded, Mr. Scoobs just coming in the chat there saying happy birthday, Baggy. R.I.P. mate. Baggy Snails, or Steve Morrill, head honcho of P1, unfortunately, and until he died. There was a big dent in the sim racing community when he left us. Same for Stewie McCombie. Miss you, boys. Yeah, happy birthday, Bags. Nice one, Scoobs. Right, have we got Pilgrim in yet? No, not yet. What's he doing? Is he going for a full reset? Is he going for full PlayStation, router, whatever? What else is he resetting? New pinned chat. Oh yeah, can I now? Pinned chat, can I? Thanks for letting me know that, PlayStation. YouTube, I kind of already knew. So if you're listening, just let me know the sound's coming through all right, that sort of thing. Obviously you can't hear much of the cars at the minute because can you hear it all? That's the question. Can you hear me? Can you hear the cars? That's all I want to know. Who are we on board with anyway? Who is going backwards? Oh, it's Manny. So, speaking of Manny, he don't take my word for it, but he could be leading this championship already. I think he got second place in both first race and second race last week. So he might have maximum points. Pilgrim won race 1. Mocking Weeks won race 2. Unfortunately, points haven't been updated. Lobby host has been a bit ill, so he's just not managed to get around to that yet. But it could be Manny. He took second in both races. Somebody might be able to confirm that with me, but could be this man here. Corvette looking, sounding mean. Again, just depends whether they can keep the traction. Diz in the chat as well, giving happy birthday to Baggy, twice in fact. The old Baggy, happy birthday today, and then happy birthday Baggy, R.I.P. Twice for good measure. That's not the line, Manny. Well, it might be around. Okay, we've got at 10 past. There's going to be a bit of a late one by the looks of it. Still waiting for Pilgrim to get in. Let's have a bit of chase cam. So this corner's a little bit tricky. The one at the... There you go. Manny just sticking some wheels on the sand. This one very tricky, carrying a lot of speed around here. Tightens up as well, you can see he just wants to push you out wide. And then we head up and over the hill towards this corkscrew. And let's just see how Manny copes with it. So left into it, down the hill, right on the way out. So he just wants to unsettle the car the whole way through there. Actually, fastest lap in this little practice session. 21.8 for Manny. Sounds good. Cheers, Scoops. Why didn't I see that? Why didn't I see that before I saw Dizzy's? Alright, that's enough of you, Manny. Livery's looking good on the Corvettes tonight. Oh, someone getting it a bit wrong. Rocking the Red Bull livery on the Corvettes. It was tyre slate getting it a bit wrong, was it? Let's have a quick black at his livery, shall we? Oh, he's got the Chevy logo smashed all over it. Semi-naked lady on the back as well. That's what we like to see. Well, best Dunlop Sports. That's actually quite a nice looking livery. Different lines and colours. A bit of time spent on that, I think. He's stolen it. Seen Raffo, Red Bull. Kicking off in his home country island the other night. Ricky J to leave the pits. We'll have a look at his livery as well. I'm sure it's probably pink. Hey, there it is. There we go. Oh, not all of it. What does that say? Baggy rides. It looks like age rides. He's gone for the chameleon chromium looking colour. He's obviously got a big pile of pink on there. Wrecking Ball Racing on the side as well, standard for Ricky J. Dizzy Mountain Dew smashed all over his. Oh, here we go then. Rotten Cheese. I don't think you're meant to be in this race. So it doesn't look like we've got a Pilgrim. Not able to get it all set up, but then by the looks of it. Rightio, qualifying getting underway then. Drivers just leaving the pits. 10 minutes of qualifying getting underway now then. Motorsports livery for who's that? Who is that? Oh, you turn my nonsense off. There you go. Look, tricky. So Obi-Wan again struggling to get that thing pointed in a straight line, even on the softs. Too much power coming out of the corner. What livery were you rocking? Oh, he's got the Baggy Snail Special. Good lad. Yes, you cunt. That's right. No YouTube, that wasn't a swear word. Look, I'm reading it off his bonnet. Don't demonetise. Not that I'm monetised. Heartbreak on the back as well. Yeah, what's he got on the spoiler? Is it just Baggy Snails? Yeah. So out laps then, out the minutes. Let's see whose livery we haven't looked at. Home Depot on board for Manny. Plenty of other sponsors smashed on that front door wing combo. Rob S on the Dunlop, Ricky J with the pink GoPro with punching. What's that anime character? Somebody, I don't know. I'm too old for this nonsense. It's anime-ish. Is it Dragon Ball Z or something daft? I don't know. There's Tire Slayer Z. Chevy Racing livery. Popeye. He's gone for the plain blue with number 24 smashed on it. See yours, Raffo? Yes, you were in the Red Bull livery, weren't you? So, hot laps just starting now then. Raffo under threat. He's got Black and Wheats using him for a bit of a tow round. Oh, turn 4 and gets it all wrong on the exit. Puts it, there you go, as easy as that. Damage all over the place for Raffo. Oh, Obi-Wan's followed him off. So again, just easy to get it all wrong. Coming round that turn 4. Is it turn 4? 1, 2, 3. Yes, turn 4. Turn 5 again, tricky. He's going to be the first man to put a hot lap in then. Apache and Dodger for the win. Scooby's throwing his... he's throwing his choices in for the win tonight. Let's see. Where is Dodge? Dodger's not in the room. So let's have a look then. Mocking Weeks has just crossed the line. He's stuck in a 1:22.0 just as he hits turn 3 there. Manny's come through and put a better time in though. He had looked good in practice, 1:21.8. So currently sits on pole position as he goes through Andretti hairpin. Oh, again just runs himself a bit wide through there. You can see the sand being kicked up from the rear tyres. This one tricky as well, just wants to push you out wide. As does turn 3. In fact, this whole circuit. We've got another driver off at the side of the circuit there again. Everyone's rocking a bit of a snail's livery tonight, that's good. So it is Manny currently on pole with that 1:21.8. Mockin is second, 1:22.0. Dizzy third, 1:22.3. Rob S, 1:22.8. Currently in fourth on the grid. Don, he's got it backwards. 1:23.3. Tire Slayer's in the wall as well. He's on a 1:24.3. Might be the end of his qualifying if he stays there. Ricky J 1:27.6, 7th on the grid for the time being. Obi-Wan in 8th. 1:29.2. I think it was it Obi or might have been somebody else we saw off circuit. I think it was a dark blue car, but Obi in 5th, just as he crosses the line, moves up the order a little bit. On 6th then. Just getting it back on circuit. Tire Slayer in the pits and back out. Fresh set of softs. Full tank of fuel as well. Interesting. Pilgrim's in the house. He's missed qualifying, unfortunately. Ricky J 9th then. Let's just see what he puts in here. Stays 9th. 1:20. 1:25.0. Why hasn't that stayed? 1:32.8 then for Popeye. Popeye we saw off circuit on this very corner, in fact. 10th of the minute, he's got a 1:32.8. Oh, Pilgrim has managed to get in the race lobby. Okay. Qualifying not locked out then. Pilgrim in the house. Let's see how he gets on. Late entry to qualifying, but we'll see. Weeks then back on pole, 1:21.8. Able to beat it on the lap, that lap. Manny just coming up towards this, not too far. He's just coming up to the start-finish line as well, so let's see what he's got. Again, he was looking fast in practice, Manny. Hashtag ASMR lighter click. Stays third. Dizzy has turned up 1:21.6. Mountain Dew nearly 2/10 faster than Mocking Weeds previous. So on pole now then for Diz. 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. Can Manny get back up the field? Obi slots himself up another position into 4th then. Rob S moves up as well. He's into 5th. Raffo is 6th. Don 7th. Tire Slayer 8th. He left the room and come back by the looks of it. Oh no, he parked up on the side of the circuit for an awful long time, wasn't he? Popeye in 9th. Goes a little bit quicker actually, 1:24.5. Ricky J, a little bit more time as well, 1:25.0, but still 10th. Pilgrim yet to put hot lap in. Out lap just finishing now. The gold livery. Oh, he's got that final corner all wrong. That's this lap thrown in the bin. It is an out lap anyway, but that's the next lap thrown in the bin because he won't be carrying as much speed now. Then this start finish straight. Weeks gets himself back on pole, 1:21.6. Time still coming down here then, Dizzy. He doesn't better that lap that time, so he stays in 2nd for the time being. Manny also stays 3rd. 2.5 minutes left of qualifying. Manny for the win then, says Scooby. Dodger's not in the room. He's going for Manny. Again, Manny came 2nd in both 1st and 2nd race last week. I think it was Pilgrim 1st. Mocking Weeks ended up like 4th or 5th in that race. And then Pilgrim and Mocking swapped positions, so Mocking took the win in race 2. Pilgrim came about 4th or 5th. But, like I say, this man we're watching on screen now, Manny, he was 2nd in both races, so he might still be at the top of the championship. I don't know. Haven't got points. Again, they weren't updated this week due to illness. So, who's going to take this pole spot then? Weeks down towards turn 1. He's still on that 1:21.6. Dizzy up towards the line. He gets a little wobble on coming out of that final corner. Not faster, he gains a little bit more time, 1:21.648, but it's not enough for that pole sitting lap at the minute. The same for Manny, 1:22.4 on that previous. A minute left then. It's looking good for Mocking Weeks. He's still got 0.033 of a second lead over anybody else at the minute. I've still got drivers out on circuit pushing these lap times. And Manny looking for that top spot again. We've not seen where Pilgrim's going to end up. He's still 11th at the minute. He's running out of time though. He's had a couple of... His out lap wasn't great. His 2nd lap obviously fluffed it on that last corner. So it's this one or nothing, I think, for Pilgrim. Clock. It is still Mocking on pole. Dizzy is getting a sneaky, is it Dizzy? Yes it is, getting a sneaky toe off of Pilgrim around this lap. Has that bettered his time? Let's just see what Pilgrim puts in for a decent lap. Again, Dizzy right behind him, sneaking that toe. Moves up to 9th then, and then ploughs it into the wall. Dizzy not able to better that lap then with the toe. So it is going to be Mocking on pole, I think. Anybody else out on circuit? No, Manny's... I don't know what Manny's doing. Yeah, pretty much everyone else pulled over. This is not a hot lap. It can't be. Can't be from Raffo. It's already 10 minutes. Oh no, it could be. It could be. Yeah. Getting the time all wrong, so he does move up a position. He moves from 6th to 5th then, Raffo. And then sideways actions it, almost taking out a handful of other drivers. So it is Mocking on pole. Dizzy 2nd, Manny 3rd. We've got Obi-Wan in 4th, Raffo in 5th, Rob S 6th, Tire Slayer in 7th, Don in 8th, Pilgrim 9th, Popeye in 10th, and Ricky J in 11th. Here we go, taking each other out. Or wheel spinning, or handbraking, or drifting, or just general chaos, nudging, sendings, torpedoes. Look. So 15-minute race just about to get underway then. You've quite finished, gentlemen. Raffo and Ricky J having a jousting match. Strange though, every time Ricky J makes contact with Raffo, his wheels change from silver to black. Right, here we go. Race 1, 15 minutes here at Laguna Seca. Mocking on pole. Again, tricky circuit here. Laguna, sand everywhere. Everyone will be pushing hard at the start as well. Don't false start. Don't peel it into the wall. Lights go on then. And race 1 is underway. Not a great start from Dizzy. Manny and Raffo looking for the way past down towards turn 1. Mockin's going to hold on to it into the first corner. Manny's getting swarmed. Dizzy as he loses out. No, he doesn't. He holds that line around the inside through there. Mockin then leads into turn 2, followed by Dizzy, followed by Manny. Raffo in 4th, Obi-Wan 5th, Tyre Slayer 6th, Rob S 7th, Don in 8th, Popeye 9th, Ricky J 10th, Pilgrim in 11th. A little bit of onboard action. Watch these maniacs go sliding out behind us. Mockin's leading them by 0.4 of a second as we hit turn 5. Keeps it on circuit. A couple of drivers in the background have got it all wrong. They're all over the place. Come back to that in a second. We'll have a look through the order and see who's ended up where. Oof, big piles of gravel being kicked up by Mockin. Got to be careful. He doesn't want to pick himself a penalty. All 4 wheels off the circuit will do that. Brought Dizzy closer to him. Come around to end lap 1, keeping himself right in that slipstream zone at the minute. Diz and towards this final corner then. Doesn't get a good enough drive out to have a go at Mockin Weeks down towards turn 1. Flashes the lights trying to put him off as we head through the start finish line. Down towards turn 1, starting lap 2. Mockin then leads. Dizzy 2nd, nearly a second back to Manny. One as well, 0.8 of a second. Top 4 have pulled a great big gap, 2.6 seconds back to one in 5th. And then we have a Popeye, Rob S, a Pilgrim, all pretty close. We saw Tyre Slayer and a Raffo get it all wrong around turn 5. Oh, Raffo's nearly got it wrong through turn 2 as well. He's risking it for a biscuit with wheels on the grass, wheels on the sand. There is no grass here. Popeye's binned it, he's come out of turn 3, stuck it in the wall. Ricky J's done the same thing somewhere as well, but further back on circuit. He's now back up to full race pace, but a long way back, as is Popeye. Dizzy then, where did he make the move? Oh, what? Hold on. Mockin's got it all wrong through turn 5. He's then binned it, drops himself down to 10th. Was leading. So Dizzy then leads 1.8 seconds. Obi in 2nd now. Don 3rd, Manny 4th. It's all kicked off. Maybe there was a little bit of contact with Manny. He's fallen back a little bit. He's into the hands of Rob S and Pilgrim. Under threat as we head down towards turn 1. Defensive. Rob S looking around the outside. Can he get a better run out is the question. And he's not leaving him any kind of open door there. Rob S all the work to do then. Pilgrim in 6th in that gold Corvette. Tyre Slayer up into 7th again. Managed to run himself off circuit through turn 5, but back on. Raffo again did the same thing. Into 8th. Then all the way down in 9th, 9.6 seconds down from Raffo. 2 seconds ahead of Ricky J, 1.8. Ricky J is another 1.8, 1.7 ahead of Popeye. Again, very, very tricky circuit here. Laguna, just sand and silly corkscrew corners. Dizzy leads then. Bit of a gap over Obi, although that gap has come down. It was 1.8 to 1.7, it's down to 1.4 now. Don then up into third position. A little way back, 2.7 seconds behind the top two, 3.1 ahead of Rob S. Pilgrim's had a nightmare. He's been overtaken. He's about to get done as well by Manny up the inside. Manny takes fifth, then Tyre Slayer sees that door wide open. Oh, a bit of Concertina bumperama going on through there. 3 wide on the exit. Pilgrim regains sixth. Tyre Slayer and Raffo battling it out for that sixth position. Oh no, oh Pilgrim. Pilgrim's lost it. So he did get sixth, and then he's binned it through turn 3. Down in 8th. Marking Weeks 9th. 5.2 seconds back now. Popeye has managed to get himself past Ricky J. He needs to have a race to the end. Dizzy stretches open a little bit more of a gap. Almost 2 seconds. It does hit 2 seconds as I say it. Well out of slipstream range now then for Obi. Out of danger really. Rob S. Was he 2.5 back from Don? And he 1.2 back. Looking to close that gap up on Rob. Wants to get himself back on those podium positions really. Raffo into 6th then. Tyre Slayer 7th. Pilgrim 8th. Mockin in 9th. Popeye. Oh Popeye! Popeye's got himself a second penalty. Going to lose him right there. Ricky J to come past. No, I think Popeye's a little bit too far ahead, even with that penalty. Popeye's going to hold on to it then. Dizzy then. Now 2.3 seconds. He's finding time over Obi-Wan. Cleanly, Obi as well. Still pulling time over third place Don. That gap stretches up to 3.3 seconds. It's like Rob S is slowly pulling in Don as well. That gap's down to 2 seconds. And he's still not too far off either. 1.7 seconds behind Rob S. Sixth and 3.3 seconds back. Pull time. Or in fact, where has Tyre Slayer? Where have you gone? He's got it wrong somewhere. There's a big scratch on the front of his car. He drops himself to 9th. He was 7th. It's now Pilgrim who takes that spot. Mocking Weeks right behind him in 8th. These two will have a good battle, that's for sure. Tyre Slayer down to 9th then, under threat from Popeye. Oh, Ricky J's made another mistake, I think, somewhere now 7.5 seconds back. Then tricky cars, the Corvette. They just want to light the rears and send you round. No, Obi's got it wrong this time. Obi's got it wrong from 2nd to 4th. Oh, he's on the dirt as well through there. Manny's going to come through to take that position. Oof. A little bit of contact between the two. Both drivers run themselves off circuit. Both drivers get themselves back up to speed. Raffo gets tangled up in that as well, unfortunately. So I'm not really sure what to make of that incident. That's not the way to take that corner, Rob S. Dipped a wheel on the sand, sent that car sideways. He's going to lose a position or two here. Manny goes through, then takes 3rd. Raffo, he's not going to be close enough, I don't think, Raffo. Robert's just going to hold on to 4th into turn 1, but Raffo closes up on him rapidly through there. So Manny up into a podium position. Was about 7th at the start of the race. Battle going to develop there though. Great big gaps at the front now though. Look at this. Dizzy 8.5 seconds clear of anybody else on circuit. Don, the next man out. He's got another 8.4 behind him to Manny as well. S goes for the move up the hill. He's carrying a bit more speed, actually, side by side, the two drivers. Oh, Manny comes off worse. Oh, went backwards. Yeah, oof, just gets a nudge straight by Obi-Wan. He takes Obi out. Front end damage on for Manny. He's coming back at Pilgrim through the corkscrew, though. It's not going to work out through there. The driver's all over the place here, then. Moves up another position. Raffo, he's on now on the dirt. Holds on to that fourth, but he's going to lose a bit of time. Mockinweed's right on the tail of Obi. Obi's just had a little bit of a slip coming out of that final corner. Mockin might be able to make a move on him down towards turn one. Gets himself up the inside as well. Through into fifth then for Mockin. Nowhere for Obi to come back at him through there. You've just got to... Oh, Manny gets turn two wrong, dips a wheel on the sand through there. Just manages to collect it, keep it on the tarmac, but again, it's all starting to fall away from him, unfortunately. Nearly 11 minutes into the first race, only a 15-minute race. It's a little bit sideways out of turn 4 as well. Tyre Slayer 9th, then Popeye in 10th, Mickey J in 11th. Dizzy now 12 seconds clear. Again, Dom's under no direct threats. He's lost a second behind him, so Rob S is now 7.7 seconds. It was 8.5. Also Obi-Wan, I think. So Rob S is still holding that third, but we've seen him get a little bit wayward in that Corvette. Weeks 2.2 seconds behind him. Oh, someone's getting it wrong. It's Raffo. It's Raffo. He's binned it proper. Manny then gets himself back up to speed. He's just lost a penalty down that start-finish line, start-finish straight. Raffo gets that car straight. Might be under threat from Tyre Slayer. Not close enough into turn 1 Tyre Slayer to make a move on Raffo. Brings himself back into the fight though at the end of this race. Popeye, long way down then, 18.2 seconds down for Popeye in 10th. Ricky J another 10.4 down in 11th. Clear track for Dizzy, clear track for Don, pretty clear for Rob S. He's got a little bit of a mirror full of Mockinweeds, not under any direct threat yet. Through that corkscrew then, trying to just hang on to the rear end of these things. Starting to bring that time down, Mockinweeds. It might be a little bit too late. We've got about 2 laps going, 2 laps remaining, I think. It could be on. He's just brought that time down to less than a second, well within slipstream range then as they hit this start-finish straight. 0.7 of a second. Tiny bit wide through there. He's gains a couple of tenths on him through the first corner into turn 2 then. It's tiny through there. Both drivers on the sand a little bit. Mockinweeds just gathers it back up. Drops him out of that fight a little bit. Oh, he's on a wobble on the way out of there. Tyre's still dirty. Got to be careful. Obi-Wan not too far behind him as well. Just 1.1 seconds back now with that little bit of a mistake. S in front, still getting that car sideways. Falls back to 1.3 seconds. He's already gained a big chunk of time on Rob S. Rob S cutting that corner, he's got to be careful. Don't want to pick up a penalty through there. Forward facing bumper cam then. That time back down again, Mockin. Isn't going to be enough. Rob S, he's binned it. Obi-Wan goes through, does he? Side by side through this final corner. Who's going to have the pace down towards the line? Still got another minute of racing. Full lap here, side by side, down towards turn 1. Mockin Weeks is going to hold on to this though. line. Obi can't come back at him through there. It's a better run on the exit. Oh, he thought about slotting one up the inside. Mocking Weeks was well aware of that move. Unfortunately, Obi-Wan's just had to stick a big pile of brake on. He doesn't run it too deep. He's still less than a second behind Mocking. Don in second, and he's managed to pick himself up half a second penalty. Shouldn't affect him much. But Dizzy is absolutely smashing it. So much so that Ricky J in last place feels so threatened, he's just span himself off circuit. 18-second lead then for Dizzy. As we come around this final corner, it will flash up final lap on screen. And he crosses the line to take the win comfortably. Nearly 18 and a half seconds by the time he comes across the line backwards. Done then with a half a second penalty. He'll have to lose that when he comes around this final corner. But again, he's still got 6 seconds over anybody else. That penalty then is going to come home to take second. Mocking Weeks didn't lose third. Obi-Wan not able to close that gap back up then, so Mocking Weeks takes third. Obi takes fourth. Rob S going to come home in fifth after all of that. It was a good race from him, but tiny little mistakes just cost him podium spot. Fifth place then for Rob S. Tyre Slayer coming home for sixth. Manny not having a best race one either. So he was up there, Manny. He was pushing for podium positions. And just little mistakes coming in. A couple of incidents. A couple of drivers side by side and people ending up off circuit. But it's not down to me for... if it's blatant, then I'll call it out. But, you know, I don't know. Raffo takes 8th, then he's been backwards a couple of times. Popeye takes 9th. Pilgrim takes 10th. And Ricky J takes 11th. Race one done and dusted. There it is. Monster Diz takes the win. Let's have a look at official results then. Dizzy winning, Don second, Mocking third, Obi-Wan in fourth, Rob S fifth, Tyre Slayer sixth, Manny in seventh, Raffo in eighth, Popeye 10th, Pilgrim in 11th, and Ricky J. Pilgrim in 10th. Popeye 9th, Pilgrim 10th. Ricky J 11th. Why couldn't you get those out? So, next race. Pilgrim. Can't say 21:50. Come on. 21:45. Let's start 5 minutes early. Already 10 minutes late. So race 2 coming up. It's a reverse grid and it is a 30-minute race here at Laguna. Same circuit, same cars. I'm not sure if there's a different setup. Is there? Let's have a look. 30 minutes. Tyre wear 1. Fuel consumption times 3. So no, don't think so. Okay, Obi just coming in the chat. It was Obi-Wan and Manny side by side. Both drivers ended off circuit, unfortunately. Was that corner? Through the corkscrew, you two went off circuit. So... apparently 10 minutes to wait till race 2 unless Mocking Weeks decides to bring it forward a couple of minutes. Mocking Weeks just being asked how long till the race. Not 10 minutes, I hope. So yes, comfortably winning there for Diz. No chance anyone was going to catch him with gaps like that. Again, there was drivers, drivers putting the pressure on him, but Just getting a little bit backwards for most of these drivers tonight, to be honest. Okay, it is 10 minutes till race 2 then. Oof, another 9 minutes to go. Waffle, waffle, waffle. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I'm done. I've run out of words. Yeah, there's a lot of drivers going backwards and out of position there. Interested to see. Yes, Mr. Ryan, good to be racing with P1 again. I'm very rusty. Well, if you've not been behind the wheel for a while, yeah, it does take you a little bit to get yourself back up to speed. Okay, people in the chat saying, screw 2150, let's go at 2145. Let's go, let's go. I agree with you, Diz. Fully agree with you. 5 minutes. It's better than 10 minutes. So yeah, the reverse grid will be tricky. Obviously the slower drivers from race 1 will be at the front of the grid, and then it's down to the drivers at the back, the faster drivers, to try and make their way through without taking themselves and anybody else out. You know, we're looking for clean, fair racing. Doesn't always happen. There's always one or two little incidents that you know, it just happens. Racing incidents and the like. I know it's Popeye. I know it's Popeye, Mr. Ryan. Of course I know it's Popeye. I know it's you. It's everyone else in that chat group. You know, you stay as Popeye. Everyone else seems to change their name on a weekly basis, and I forget who's who. Maniacs. So still another 6 minutes. Oof. Anybody out on circuit that we can go and watch? Yeah, Obi-Wan, I suppose. See Obi getting it a little bit wrong through there. So I don't think there's any rules in terms of tyre use. Possibly, if anything, it could be the use of a set of softs and a set of mediums. Yeah, I know the boys changed their chat names. Well, no, they don't. Other people will change the boys' chat names in the chat group through one thing or another. Usually abusive, downright offensive names. Yeah, and I have to click on that name and then go view profile to figure out who the hell it is. What have you fools on that chat now? I know you, but God knows what you are, who you are with the names. Don't even know what I'm called on there. Let's have a look. I don't think you boys fiddle with my name too much, do you? Let's have a gander here, shall we? What have you called me? Where's the nicknames bit? Oh yeah, I've stayed as I'll kill you all. Yep. We've got Boris Whiting Cunt. We've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Poor man's Eddie Irvine. The Big Yin. I'll kill you all. B Catty, aka Not Skippy. Part 2 of 2. We've got Pilgrim's Bottom Hole. We've got P1's Alan Grant. We've got number 40 Cunt. Popeye, there he is, look, there he is, Popeye. Idle 4 Gaming, we know who he is. West Ham Daz, Rolf Harris, Kun. Davos, I Love West Ham, Sausage Fingers, The Human Bender, I've Got Wood, the bottom assassin of everything, but the A word for bottom. That one. Attacker Kun, Urban Fine 999, Turkish Russell Brand, God knows Fizz. I might turn up, I might not. That is actually one of the one of the names in the chat group. Nut Gobbler, Red Coat Red Boy, Jesus, Flip Kun 13, part 1 of 2, Reggie Buck, Wrecking Ball, Colin McCunn, oh my god, Trump's Mulleted Sunburn Ball Bag, Gary Glitter, Sparkplug Stewie. You gotta love him. Gotta love him. No tie rule. Okay, cheers, Scoops. That's a UK wannabe for Chris, for Popeye. Well, there you go. Get yourself over the pond, brother. No tie rule on this one. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, some funny names in that chat group. And again, the boys don't set themselves names. Other people just change their name for them. And they open the chat group, and about 3 days later they go, who changed my name? That's enough of you ploughing into walls there. Let's watch Rob S try and... Look, he was aiming for somebody there. Look at that synchronised... Jesus. There's chaos. There's chaos. There's always chaos. Always people trying to take out people. Or themselves. Still till race 2. Dear me. Chaos. Rocket Weeks look being sensible, trying to find that little hole in the wall to back his car into. Whereas everyone else is just trying to take each other out. Right, Rocking Weeds giving us the go-ahead then. Race 2 just about to get underway. Again, 30-minute reverse grid here at Laguna. See, it can be tricky at the best of times. Tyre Slayer, you considered it, didn't you? You considered peeling yourself off into Mocking. I saw you. Scoops is back next week. Here we go then, race 2 just about to get underway. Ricky J's going to lead us away, followed by Pilgrim, Popeye, Raffo, Manny, Tyre Slayer, Rob S, Obi-Wan, Mocking Weeks, Don, Dizzy at the back. Lights are on then. Oh, we've got a false start from Popeye. Is that going to cause chaos? Yes, it is. Oh no. Man, he got tangled up in that. He's ended up shunting Popeye forward. Ricky J then leads into turn 1. Does anyone go? Oh, Raffo's coming hot. Nobody gets... Oh, no, Pilgrim sideways. Oh, manages to keep it pointed straight, but Obi-Wan, on the other hand, doesn't. Spins those rears up, coming out of turn 1. Pins himself into the wall. Coming out. He's going to lose a lot of time. He's going to fall even further back, still carrying that damage, but it is a 30-minute race, so we'll see how he gets on. Ricky J then still leading but under threat. Rob S and Manny right behind him. Manny already looking at the inside up towards turn 5. Slots one up the inside. Oh, Ricky J, you could have kept that on circuit. Bit of contact there between Ricky J and who was it? Who was it chasing? It is now Manny up front though. 1.2 seconds. Rob S. I think it was Rob S that got a little shunt. It's not cost him any time really. Pilgrim up into 3rd. Tyre Slayer 4th. Mocking Weeks looking for a way up the inside of him around that final corner in 5th. Raffo 6th. Dizzy 7th. Ricky J in 8th. He's not had a great first lap. Don in 9th, Popeye in 10th, and Obi-Wan still trying to catch up with this pack. 4.3 seconds down at the minute, 28 seconds off of race lead. Manny has not been able to escape properly yet. Rob S has kept him within a second, almost within a second. As well, just a second behind him in 3rd. The second back is 4th place, Mocking Weeks. Oh, he's kicking off here for 5th. Raffo, Tyre Slayer, Dizzy all looking for this position. Dizzy has a little look at the inside of Tyre Slayer, but it's not going to work through there, a little bit too far back. Let's see how they get on through this tricky turn 5 at the top. Not too far. Raffo stays on circuit. Oh, Tyre Slayer gets a bit of a wobble on. Through there cleanly, Tyre Slayer through there cleanly, Dizzy also through there cleanly. Ricky J gets a bit of a swodge on through there. Don trying to catch back up, Popeye trying to catch back up. Obi-Wan is closing that gap up on Popeye. And he still leads, then pulled a bit more time over Rob, 1.2 seconds. Both pulled time over Pilgrim as well. Pilgrim falls back into the clutches of Mocking Weeks, just 0.2 of a second as they head down towards turn 1. Goes defensive into the hairpin, does Pilgrim. Does that cost him on the exit? Whoa, shuts the door on Mocking. It's a double apex first corner. Both drivers keeping it out of the sand through turn 2 into turn 3. Board with Mocking Weeks, then chasing down Pilgrim for that 3rd. Tight lines there by Mocking, maybe not carrying as much speed. Oh, Pilgrim almost off circuit through turn 5. Mocking able to close up as they head towards the corkscrew, right on his tail as they enter that section. Right on his tail on the way out as well. Nice tight line through there for Mocking. Does he slot one up the inside here? No. Had the option. Oh, Pilgrim's run himself off circuit. Gets himself back on, but Mocking Week slots himself through into 3rd then. Bit of a chase to try and catch those two in front. 3 seconds behind 2nd place at the minute is Mocking. With that mistake then drops to 4th. It's Raffo pretty close to him. Dizzy not too far back either. Tyre Slayer behind him as well in 7th. Ricky J still 8th, but a long way down, 10.3 seconds. Don is another 3.3 behind Ricky. Popeye's another 9.1 back, and Obi-Wan another 4.4 behind him. Not able to close that gap up enough yet. And he keeps himself up front, still only got a second over Rob S. 3.4 behind to Mocking Weeks, who just comes through turn 5. Now, what sort of strategies are we going to see here? Can anyone run full half an hour on one set? Tyre on the dirt there for Manny. Down a tiny little bit. Rob S pulls a teeny bit of time on him. Mocking then 4.2 seconds back, 2.6 ahead of Raffo. Raffo, Dizzy and Tyre Slayer have got themselves past Pilgrim. He's made another mistake somewhere. 4th then, Raffo holding it at the minute, Dizzy right behind him, just 0.4 of a second back. Having to control it through there, but Dizzy does close up, slight bit of sideways action from Raffo on the exit of that corner. Brings Dizzy closer to him through turn 3, down towards turn 4. Back up the hill, still right there with him. backs off early through turn 5 up towards this corkscrew section, then starts closing up on Raffo. Brakes early. Oh, has to put a big stamp of brake on the way through there. Feathering that throttle. Keep himself in touch with Raffo, sticks a wheel on the sand himself. This final corner then, is it going to be a run down to the start finish to turn 1, sorry, just 0.3 of a second in it, in that slipstream range as well is Dizzy. Not able to close up then. Raffo's going to, he's not going to come back across. Dizzy has to try again then. Good exit out of there. Is he going to sweep up the inside at turn 3? No, backs off. And a great run on Raffo then. Compromised both their lap times. Closes up towards turn 4, now goes for the move. Almost side by side. Nearly made it work, Dizzy. Oh, it's going to work now. Raffo gets a wheel on the sand, as easy as that, look. It's the back end of that Corvette out. Raffo down to 5th and Dizzy 4th. He's 3.3 seconds behind Mocking Weeks. Raffo keeps himself in touch though. He's got to be careful. Tyre Slayer's not too far behind him now. Oh, Ricky J's got that corner wrong through turn 5. Don goes through then into 7th. Ricky J 8th. Pilgrim loses more positions. He's down to 9th. Just Obi-Wan and Popeye behind him. Obi-Wan has closed the gap and taken Popeye. It's now Popeye that's 20.5 seconds back. Possible another mistake by Popeye. Again, the cars are tricky. The circuit's tricky. You've seen how many drivers have stuck wheels on the sand and had these things trying to sort of send them backwards. Trying to carry as much speed as possible around these corners, and obviously just wants to push you out onto those curbs, and there's no give outside of those curbs. As you can see, it's nothing but a sandpit. So still 1.3 seconds between first and second. Manny leads. Rob S in second place. Mocking Weeks 4.5 seconds down. No, he's not. He's going to be further. He might even lose this position to Dizzy. Dizzy carrying all the speed up into turn 5. Just 0.3 of a second behind him in third. Heading up to the corkscrew then. Nowhere to go for him through here. Right on the rear wing of Mocking Weeks through there though. No, Raffo's got it backwards. Again, easily done. Gets that thing back on track. Tyre Slayer takes that position off him though, so Tyre Slayer gets up to 5th. Raffo 6th, picks up half a second penalty even though he went backwards. That's not really fair, is it, PlayStation? Eh? Lose that next lap as well. He picked it up a little bit too late on the lap. Don then in 7th. He's just got himself past Ricky J. There is Ricky J in 8th. Obi-Wan, there he is, 5.5 seconds behind him in 9th. Pilgrim, drive that car properly. He's down in 10th, turn 5. Wrong again for Pilgrim. Oh, so wrong, he's left the room. Oh, we just catch Popeye. Just catch Popeye doing the same thing through turn 4. Stays over to the left hand side while some of these faster drivers come through. Manny and Rob S go past. Popeye keeping himself well out of that fight. That's good respect as well. So Manny, we've just seen getting himself past. Just getting himself past Pop. So Manny first then, 1.4 seconds over Rob S. Dizzy has made his way past Mockin. 7.7 seconds behind him, 3.5 back. Mockin's made a mistake. Trying to close up on Popeye as well. He's got a few cars coming up on him now. Popeye, be careful. Tyre Slayer 5th, not too far off the back of Mockin Weeks now either. Don in 6th, 14.7 seconds down. Raffo with that penalty in 7th position, 2.4 seconds down. Ricky J 3 seconds behind him. Obi another 3.5 back in 9th. Popeye 56 seconds down. Again, we've seen him do some slow laps while other drivers have come through. You're probably going to see a little bit more of that. There you go. Just staying out of the way. He's messing up his race, but he's being respectful. Still kicking off at the front here then. Less than a second between these two. Very similar on tyre wear. Both drivers, ooh, I say that. Manny has got loads of fuel on board. I'd say almost 2/3 of a tank, whereas Rob S is almost down to half a tank. He's been spanking that Corvette. Does that cost him in the long run? Dizzy then into 3rd position. Decides he's now going to start putting in fastest laps. Just put in his fastest at a 1:22.2, clear circuit in front of him, and he's smashing in some purple sectors, so we could see a purple lap appear on screen. There's currently Robert S that's holding that 1:22.194. Let's see what Dizzy's got up to the line then. He does take that. It's a 1:22.067 for Diz, so fastest lap on the board for him. 3rd place, 7.2 seconds behind Rob S and Manny. Still only a second between these two. On board with Rob S then as he chases down Manny for that top spot. Just 3/4 of a second in it. Almost at the halfway point, Manny runs himself wide. Turn 5 has been catching all these drivers out, gets himself back on circuit right under the rear wing of Manny as they come into the corkscrew down the hill. Slightly dirty tyres for Manny. He's trying to keep himself in touch with Rob S now. Now, what can Rob S do now? He's out front. He needs to think about breaking that toe from Manny behind. It's just over a second between them. No! Lit the rears up then, Rob. 1.2 seconds the gap, so out of the slipstream range at the minute for Manny. That could all change in a corner or two's time though. We'll see different lines in there for Manny and Rob. Doesn't benefit Manny just yet, still 1.2 seconds between them. Both drivers keeping it clean through turn 2. Out of the sand through turn 3 as well. That gap stretching open, 1.6 seconds the gap is, just under. Through turn 4 then up towards turn 5. Rob S! No! Rob S! No! Manny goes back through to take that lead. Rob S trying to get it back on the circuit. Allows Dizzy to go through to take that second. Getting himself back up to speed, but Mocking Weeks now goes through to take that position. Who else have we got coming up? Nobody. Tyre Slayer falls off the back of Mocking Weeks. Rob S just holds on to 4th position then. That was all looking good for him. Not too far on the camera views. He was out front, Rob S. Did the pressure of leading get to him? I don't know. Manny then back into the lead of the race, 4.6 seconds over Dizzy, just over the halfway mark as well. So let's just have a look. Manny's still holding more fuel on board than anybody else I've looked at yet. Dizzy's just under half a tank. Well, Mocking Week's very similar to Manny. So it looks like everybody's going to be able to finish the race on the tyres and the fuel. Almost on the fuel. Maybe not Rob S. To push that car hard in the first stint, he used a fair amount of fuel compared to anybody else on circuit. Tyre Slayer then in 5th. Again, fuel looking very similar. Just over half a tank for Don as well. Obi bang on half a tank. He's up into 7th. Ricky J thrown himself in the pits this lap. Popeye in 9th at the minute. Again, just under half a tank on board for Popeye. Manny leads then 4 seconds over Dizzy. Time is starting to come down though. Can Dizzy close the gap on him? Another couple of good results for Manny if he can hold on to it. 13 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this race. Marking Weeks up to third then. Rob S still not too far behind him, just 2.9 seconds back in fourth. Tyre Slater fifth, another 4.4 back. Don in 6th, 11 seconds behind him. Obi-Wan is another 7.9 seconds back in 7th. Ricky J back out the pits, 37.9 seconds back with a fresh set of tyres. I think he might have taken on a little blob of fuel as well. Popeye, 50 seconds down. That Ricky J is just catching up on. No, it's Obi. Oh no, it is Ricky J. It is Ricky J. It's Obi just in front of him, but it's Ricky J that the time is between. Still leading there, Manny. Again, that time just starting to come down. It was 4 seconds. It's down to 3.5 currently. Ah, there you go. There you go. So, people picking up a penalty just there as they come out of this corner and run themselves over to the racing line. A lot of drivers are ending up on that tarmac, picking up that half a second penalty, which Manny's got to lose next lap. And he's lost a great big pile of time as well due to that tiny little mistake. That 4 second gap is now down to 2.2 seconds. Tyre wear looking worse on Manny's car as well than Dizzy behind him. More fuel on board for Manny though. Does that play its part? 11.5 minutes remaining. Gap drops to under 2 seconds. Manny's still got this penalty to lose as well. Dizzy is starting to close up on him. He'll obviously gain a little bit more when he loses that penalty. It might drop to, if it stays the same as it is now, it'll drop to about a second, maybe less by the time they cross that penalty zone. Takes another 10th out of him through the corkscrew, and another 10th on that exit of the corkscrew as well. The time down to 1.6 seconds. So Manny's coming up to lose his penalty now. Goes, loses his penalty. That gap falling is down 2.8 of a second as they come back up the hill down towards turn 1. It's not going to be close enough for Dizzy to make a move on Manny, but it brings him right into contention in these last 10 minutes. Just half a second between them then. Everybody else pretty much spread out on circuits. It's just these two. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, everybody else is having a race of their own. It is just these two that are neck and neck, not neck and neck. And he's just keeping it in from that 0.8 of a second from Diz. Both drivers comfortably through that turn 5. Starting to find that time back again, Manny. Gets it back up to a second as he hits the corkscrew. Feeling that throttle, doesn't want to stick it in the sand. Again, just a second between them. Both drivers through that final corner cleanly as well, catching up with Ricky J. Back up this start-finish straight. Ricky J, look, staying out of the way. That's the kind of respect we look for in these lobbies. We're not here for bumper cars. Obviously, if these drivers are coming through faster than you, stay the hell out of the way. We don't want you to drive off circuit. We have seen Popeye do that once or twice, but we don't expect you to drive off circuit. We just expect you to give enough room for drivers to come through. It's down to the chase driver really to make a clean pass on you. leave the door open and let them through, then that's also good. So, still leading them by 1.1 seconds as we come up to this corkscrew section again. And he has just 8 minutes left on the clock to try and hang on to this lead. Dizzy in second then. Mockingweek's still at 4.5 seconds, 4.6 seconds behind him. Rob S unfortunately has fallen a bit further back, starting to run out of fuel as well. I don't know whether he's got 8 minutes of fuel on board in that car. He's under a quarter of a tank already, Rob S. Do a little splash and dash here. He's got 16. Oh, he comes in now. 16 points, nearly 17 seconds over Don when he comes in. Don then heading towards this final corner. Rob S is not even in his pit box yet. He's going to take on board tyres as well. Rob again, still not in his pit box. Here he comes. Does go for a fresh set of tyres. He is going to take on a little blob of fuel as well. Remember, he's just under a quarter of a tank. He's got about a third of a tank on board now. That should definitely last him, but he loses a few positions down to 7th. He's not fully exited the pits yet. He stays in 7th then. Let's run through the order. What have we got? Just under 7 minutes. Manny still leads. Dizzy falls a bit further back, 1.8 seconds down then in second. Mockingweek's in third. Pulled a bit of time on Dizzy, but he's got Don closing up. Is it Don? Sorry, who's behind you, Mocking? Oh, it's Ricky J. It's Ricky J. So Mocking in third then. 22.7 second gap between himself and this man, so as long as he keeps it pointing in the right direction, should be good for third. Don in fourth then, Obi in fifth. He's not done too bad. He pinned it into the wall out of turn 1 and ended up a long way back at the start of the race. He's managed to claw his way back through the field though. Oof, not like that if you're sticking wheels on the sand. Into fifth at the minute for Obi. Tyre Slayer in sixth. Rob S starts to close up on him again. Fresher tyres should make short work of Tyre Slayer really. Tyre Slayer's tyres showing a fair chunk of wear. Ricky J in the thick of it at the minute, just being passed by a few drivers. And Popeye hitting that start-finish straight. A long way down unfortunately for Popeye. Again, first race back, he's a bit rusty. But Manny's made a mistake into the corkscrew. He's made a mistake earlier on. That's brought Dizzy right under his rear wing as we come down to finish this lap 18. We've got 5 minutes left of this race. Dizzy well within slipstream range here. What can Manny do to defend here? Anything? Gets a good exit out of there. It's got 0.4 of a second over Dizzy as we head up the hill. I think he's going to hold on to this as they come into turn 1. Nowhere for Dizzy to go. Keeps it nice and tight to the apex. Doesn't want to leave any kind of gap for Dizzy to slot one up the inside. But it's going to be tricky now. It's going to be tricky now. So careful carrying the speed around these corners. The tyre wear will catch some of these drivers out in these later stages of the race. It is still Manny leads. Dizzy's not made a move just yet. Both drivers getting that cleanly. Manny actually finds a 10th on Dizzy through that little section, a couple of corners. Nice and tight into the corkscrew. Does that help Dizzy close back up on him? Yes, it does. Look at that. Almost goes for the overtake around the outside. Dizzy then carries the speed through. Side by side on the exit. Tiny bit of contact. And it looks like it's going to be Dizzy. He's going to hold the line into this final corner. What kind of exit can Manny get? Dizzy into the lead then. Manny second. 0.3 of a second to try and gain back up on him on this straight. nice wide double apex. Again, the tyre wear's trying to catch a lot of these drivers out. You can see them just struggling to keep these things pointing straight as they go around the corners. Good exit there by Manny. Chases down Diz down towards turn 4. Needs to carry the speed up towards turn 5. Does so, just quarter of a second in it, actually closing up a little bit on Dizzy, but loses a tiny bit of time through turn 5 up towards this corkscrew again. 2.5 minutes remaining. Manny all over the back of Dizzy. Gets a different line through there, gives Dizzy a tiny bit of breathing room. Tyres in a lot better condition actually. He should be making short work of Manny really. Mocking Weeks has brought himself back into this fight as well. Again, worn tyres on for Mocking, but he's just 1.3 seconds back as we come to these final stages. The battle in front probably going to slow these two down. It could be a real good punch up here in the last lap for first place if Mocking can get himself involved in this fight. There gets the gap down to 1.1 seconds. We are going to see another lap after this one. Oof. Manny's got that turn 2 a little bit wrong. He's lost the rear end a tiny bit. Loses time to Dizzy in front. Brings himself closer to Mocking Weeks behind. Just 1.3 seconds in it between the top 3. Board with Mocking them in third. There goes Dizzy. There goes Manny. Drivers keeping it clean through turn 5 towards the corkscrew then. 1.5 left on the clock. Nice and tight through there for Mocking. Closes up on Manny. Both drivers keeping themselves in touch with Dizzy in front though. And again, no mistakes from these top 3. Real good battle at the end of this race. Manny almost got it wrong. Just 0.8 of a second in it between the top 3. They're all closing up as they head down towards turn 1. Mocking goes for a completely different line on the way in there, looking for the run down towards turn 2, maybe carry a bit more speed through down towards turn 3. And they just have to be so careful on the exits of these corners. Will become final lap then. Oh. 20 seconds left on the race clock. Mocking, looking, threatening. Oh, tiny bit of contact between himself and Manny. Slowed them both down. That's kind of given Dizzy all the time he needs now. 1.1 seconds. Oh no, Manny! Manny. He was under pressure. Trying to keep himself back in touch with Dizzy. To not be a hindrance to Mocking Weeks behind and go, defend from him, and that's the outcome unfortunately. So it is going to be Dizzy that takes the win, well, unless he bins it in this last corner. Don't bin it, Diz. Why did you nearly bin it, Diz? So Dizzy's going to take the win here in race 2. It's well fought. Mocking Weeks as well. Great race to come back into second position at the end of that one. Manny does come home at the end, takes that final podium. We'll have to see what that does to points next week. Slams himself into the pit wall for good measure. Dom's going to come home for 4th. Again, unless one of you drivers decides to stick a wheel on the grass and send these things backwards. Takes that 4th then. We've already had Ricky J cross the line. Obi comes up to the line, but Popeye taking 9th into the pit lane. Obi's coming up. He's got Rob S right behind him. 5th for Obi, then 6th for Rob S. Tyre Slayer. Oh, he's had a fuel Tyre Slayer. But he takes 7th. Ricky J takes 8th. Popeye takes 9th. Oh, what a shame, Manny. What a shame, Manny. Just lost that lead right at the end. And then binned it. Dizzy in the chat. Woo! Nice win, brother. Nice win. Again, hard fought for, but man, he wasn't making that easy for you, was he? That's for sure. So there you go. Race 2 done and dusted. So what have we got coming up? Wednesday night. Where are we? I don't know. Wednesday night, 8:30. We've got the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League. Last 2 rounds this week coming up and the next week. So 2 more rounds of that coming up, 8:30 on Wednesdays. And then same time, same place next week, 9 o'clock for round 3 of P1's Tour of America. Again, no idea which car, no idea which track. But yeah, some good racing tonight. Look, Popeye, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. It just means more practice out on track. And you know what the crack is? You don't get better unless you practice, do you? It's, you know, it doesn't matter how good you are, just get yourself out there. Stick yourself in some practice lobbies. I'm sure there's plenty going. So that's pretty much going to be it from me tonight. Again, hope you've enjoyed those 2 races. That was pretty epic in that final one. Just a shame Manny lost out at the end. But that's going to be it from me tonight. I hope you've all liked what you've watched. If you have, you know what to do, people. Hit all those like buttons. Drop a comment in there. Share it out if you need to. But most of all, what I need you to do is tell your mums. And tell your mates. You can tell them. Mostly your mums. Nice one, boys.